Belle is a Japanese anime directed by Mori Hosoda and tells the story of a young girl who at a very young age lost her mother and grew up sad, mostly alone. She does have a few friends, but she purposefully outcasts herself around people. And once a friend sent her a link to an app called AU, the app gave her sort of the confidence to sing. She plays as this avatar named Belle, and she starts to have the confidence to sing in front of a lot of people, and not much in real life. She's still struggling in that part of her life. But once someone who is in the avatar of a beast, basically, it's a Beauty and the Beast situation here, is the best thing I could describe this relationship between Belle and the Beast. Oh my goodness. And more things popped in my head connecting the two stories. And basically, Belle's trying to figure out the identity. Everybody's trying to figure out the identity of this beast. And she's trying to figure out whether or not it will be worth it or not to reveal the identity of him, because it could either cost him his personal life and her personal life being revealed to the entire world. So basically how I came across this film, I just found it. I literally just saw an anime called Belle pop up in my screen, and I thought, hey, why not go see an anime? I don't see much anime in theaters. It was an IMAX, so good way to start the year. And it was a good way to start the year. This was a beautifully animated film, and I really had a good time with it. And I will say that being in an audience full of anime fans, it was kind of fun. To be honest, this is the first time. I mean, usually I don't go to much anime theater showings, because usually there's not that many people there. There was quite a bit today, and it was actually kind of fun. Experience aside, how the actual movie itself, well, as fun and good-hearted and maybe a little simple as the story may seem in presentation, when you watch the film, there are a lot of themes in it that include depression, anxiety, grief, and abuse also. But physical abuse, not like sexual or mental abuse. Though I would say probably mental abuse a little bit too, in a way. There is a lot of themes going on surrounding the character of this girl, who I'm going to look up the name so I do not look like a complete fool. Suzu Naito, Belle. So Suzu Naito is the girl in the movie who's in the AI of this character, Belle. And her as a character in general, I was rooting for the entire time. The first act very much established her very well and got me emotionally invested. And by the end of the first act, I was already hooked in the story. And I wanted to know what this girl is going to do next and how she's going to overcome her flaws. And the first act, while opening with a very beautiful song number with beautiful animation, I gotta say, the song numbers here, while I would not say is enough to call this movie a musical, they're all still very well done. And I really was getting into the mood of what the scene wanted me to feel. The music here was perfectly utilized. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's something that I haven't felt in an anime in quite a while. Maybe because this type of anime I don't really watch as much, but I thought it worked here. Also, I gotta say, the animation, I love the use of 2D, but the 3D animation aspect really surprised me because usually with 3D animation, it could be either hit or miss for me. Sometimes it could work well, but sometimes 3D animation could be very distracting in anime. But here, I thought they blended the use very well. Maybe not as well as something like Arcane, but it still worked very well and helped create this world, this sort of AI world. It makes it feel lived in. What I also love is how a lot of the side characters, no matter how small or major their roles are, they all have a distinct personality. Even if you only get like one scene with them, you instantly remember them and their personality. There's so much going on, and this entire world just feels very real and lived in. I mean, not like real life, of course, but you felt like you are in another world. And that is the biggest compliment I could give to the film. That it takes me somewhere and I just forget about life for a couple of hours. And I was hooked, basically. And the main character, I need to go back to her. Her story was very emotional. I don't want to spoil much, and the plot twists that she finds herself in, it's just all spoiler heavy. I'd rather you guys go watch the film and go in blind, because that's the best way to experience most movies. And that's how I experienced it too. I did not expect what they do with her in a relationship with the Beast. And while I was predicting it would go the same way as something like Beauty and the Beast, because all the elements, most of the elements were there, some of the more important elements were taken out and were replaced by a few different elements to make the story feel completely different and go in a new direction. And that way of storytelling, I felt, was genius. And how the film concludes the story in that way just left me emotionally satisfied. Most of my favorite elements were actually in real life. Usually in movies like this, it's usually the fantastical world that I would want to go back to, like how I want to go back to the Oasis and Ready Player One more than in the real life dreary world in that movie. Here, I enjoyed both worlds equally, and I really was hooked into this film. I could tell that's not going to be for everybody. If you are just an anime fan in general and you like the medium as an art style or art piece, I would recommend it. If there is a specific genre that you particularly like in anime and you stick to that genre, maybe not like action or adventure, that's definitely not it. This is more of a drama, I would say, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be into that sort of stuff when it comes to Japanese animation and anime, so I don't see that many people not enjoying this movie, because the story itself is still great enough to have you immersed into the story. I feel it has beautiful animation, great music, a wonderful cast of characters, and it was just all around good-spirited and good-hearted, and it presented the story very well. I would highly recommend this film. This is a great start to the year for movies. I'm going to give Belle an A. The only problem I could think of is mostly a nitpick, and that is of a few animation 3D images that don't really work for me. But again, for the most part, I had a really good time with this movie, and you should definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. People like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.